Hello everyone, I'm Wolfie and in this video I'll be talking about Brand New Animal. At the moment there is just one season of 12 episodes. In my opinion, I will divide this season into two parts. The first one, which covers episode 1 till 8, are just an introduction for this world, in which some humans are born with a gene that allows them to transform into humanoid animals, and the society calls them beastmen. They are discriminated just for being born with that gene. That's why a city was built just for the beastmen, called Anima City. It is here when we met our protagonist, Michiru Kagemori, who after some troubles managed to reach Anima City, but things were not as she expected, since on her first night in the city, she is the victim of a robbery and witnessed a terrorist attack. Also, she meets Ogami, who is a protector of the beastmen. The next day, Michiru goes to a place known as Rabbit Town, looking to recover her wallet that was stolen last night, but she is tricked by Grandma to be sold along with other child beastmen. She escaped from the cage as she is able to stretch her arms and is saved by Ogami and the police. And the reason she was looking to get her wallet back was because she needed her student ID to prove that she was a human. Also, her friend Nasuna transformed into a beastman a few days ago. Later, the same thing happened to her and decided to travel to Anima City, looking for a cure to what she considered a disease. On the morning, Ogami locked her down in a room because he had to talk to the mayor about the recent attacks. Later that day, an explosion happened in the hospital. Ogami discovers that the culprit was the director. After a fight, he's taken to jail, and Alan Silvasta decides to go to Anima City. One afternoon, Michiru meets Nina, a beastman who can transform into a dolphin, but she is knocked out by her bodyguard and taken to her condo. It is now that Michiru can return to her human form, and Nina tells her to get out of the city and go to a human's party. They are received in a good way, but things get complicated since Nina is put in a water tank by the humans, thinking that she will feel better just because she's a dolphin. Michiru breaks the tank by turning her arm into a gorilla, and both of them come back to Anima City. Another day, Michiru is involved in a baseball game, but the Beastman played in a more deadly way. When she starts playing, she makes use of her unique abilities, taking the team, the Birds, to the major leagues, which gets the team coach in trouble with the Mafia. But everything was solved with the power of anime. After what happened, Michiru goes through the poorest neighborhoods and meets a Bears player, which was a scam and got in debt with the Mafia, who decided to burn him down, but he is saved by the cult of the Silver Wolf Order. It's here that Michiru and her friend Nasuna meet after so long, and she is also capable of shape-shifting, like Michiru. That's why the cult took her, but she can't transform into a white wolf, cause she is not xenophobe. And the beast people believe that she is the Silver Wolf. Michiru decides to join the cult so she can spend more time with her friend, but the mayor does not allow the cult to stay, and Michiru convinces her to let them stay. After that, the mayor allows the cult to stay in the city. That's when Nasuna reveals that she only used Michiru, just like she did with the cult, to be a kind of idol. Later, Michiru meets Pinga, who is a beastman who can transform into an albatross, who came to the city to give a funeral to his companions. He also warns about an attack on Al Silvasta, but he is saved by Nasuna, which increases the number of the cult members. The priest of the cult visits the ex-director of the hospital, and shortly after he leaves the police station, he enters into berserker mode, and Ogami fights him to protect the other beastmen. His strength is not enough, and he decides to release all his power, revealing to Michiru that he is the true Silver Wolf. At some point, Michiru sees that Nasuna is taken to a hospital and placed in a machine. She is unaware of the situation and tries to release her, but she is interrupted by Alan and he explains to them the reason we are capable of transforming into beastmen, even though they were humans. Apparently, a bag of beastman blood samples were mistaken and sent to a human hospital, in which Michiru and Nasuna were hospitalized. One night that Michiru and Ogami were in the streets, they witness how another beastman enters in berserk mode. Ogami fights him, but he is interrupted by machines that neutralize the threat and take him to the medical center. Ogami finds out that Alan is working on a way to eliminate the pizza factor to transform all the beastmen into humans. Him, being the protector of the beastmen, attacks Alan and ends up being a fugitive from the law. A concert will take place at the center of the city, in which Nasuna plans to reveal that she was a human, so that the stress of the beastmen goes down. This according to the words of the priest. Before the concert begins, Michiru and Ogami argue, and he tells her that if Nasuna confesses that she was a human, she will activate the Nervacil syndrome. So then, Michiru convinces Nasuna to say nothing, but suddenly they see machines from the medical center, and the priest is the one who reveals Nasuna's secret, which caused most of the beastmen to go into berserk mode, causing chaos and destruction. Okami realized that the current panorama reminded him of the massacre that happened 100 years ago, and he ends up going into berserk mode. Michiru tries to stop him, not knowing that those could be her last words. But out of nowhere, Ogami is able to return to his normal form, and when he realizes what he did, he begins to howl. And to no one's surprise, Michiru is still alive. The Major finds out that Michiru's blood is the key to bring the Beastman back to normal. When she is in charge of producing a serum, Ogami and Michiru are in charge of stopping Alan. Alan plans to take down the Beastmen by using drones. Michiru managed to destroy a few of them, but there are still more. Ogami confronts him, but Alan reveals that he is a pure-blood beastman, and that the Sylvester were the ones responsible for the massacre of the beastmen that gave Ogami his immortality, and he is defeated. Michiru and Asuna save the beastmen from the drones, and discover that Ogami's hole can cause them, and avoid the detection of the drones. That is why they plan to play the video through the city, to prevent the beastmen to turn into humans, but Alan would not allow them, so Ogami returns for the rematch. He has Alan at his mercy and decides to let him live. After all those troubles, the beasts come back to Anima City, and that's it! The anime had potential to be amazing, but chose just to be a normal anime. What I mean by this is that they didn't focus so much on the discrimination against the beastmen. Instead of that, they just give us action, just like in the majority of Trigger's previous works. Other thing is that it took 8 episodes to build the plot, which some of them can be skipped, and it does not affect the plot. Also, Michiru has quite a development of character, starting with her idea that being a beastman is a disease, and at the end of the anime, accepting herself now as a beastman. Wow, what a development, right?